Well, greetings, BUS88 students. This is Mr. Doucette. This is week number 5 in our 14-week course in business communications here at Chaffey College. And this week we're going to be covering 2 chapters. Typically we're going to be doing 1, but this week we're covering 2. And that's because we're going to be looking at drafting business messages, and then the big one is revising business messages. And so we're going to be learning about, obviously, chunking our information. We're going to be learning about outlining our document. We're going to be learning a little bit about how to make your document readable and scannable. And one thing that you'll learn about business writing that's very important is it's not just how it reads, that's very important, but also how your document looks. And so we want to be able to utilize a lot of text design to make your document more readable and more scannable, to have what we call high skim value, that you would look at a document and you'd be able to scan it and skim it real quickly because it has headings, it has bullet lists, it has bold, italicized text. It's not all plain text. And that's what makes a business document a business document. So we'll be talking about that. In fact, we're going to be having a Zoom session on Wednesday. I believe it's this week. I'll check it here in a minute, where we're going to go over business writing, and we're going to be doing the do's and don'ts of business writing, which happens to be your discussion post as well coming up. So I'll be going over that. Actually, I think it's next week. So anyway, we'll look at that in just a second when I get to the schedule. But yeah, now we're going to be learning about business writing, and that takes up the middle module of this course. We did the individual presentation. I think you're finishing that this week, along with the first discussion post on the do's and don'ts of business presentations. And now we're going to be moving next week into the new module, which would be business writing. So let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to stop sharing here, and I'm going to go ahead and share our class in Canvas, and we'll take a look. And we'll review a little bit about what we did last week. So here we are in Canvas. We are in module number 1. So yes, module number 1 ends this week, which means that your individual presentation and your do's and don'ts of business presentations ends this Sunday. We'll be shifting gears next week when we get into actually writing some business documents. That'll be starting next week, and that's module number 2. So we're ending module number 1 this week. So I'm going to scroll down here. Last week, you looked at planning business messages, and all you had was a check-in assignment, and then you had your PowerPoint and quiz. That's because you were working on your individual presentation, which I've already moved into this week, as well as your discussion post, which I also moved into this week. So that was last week. And that was really just the basics of starting a business document. Now this week you're going to be looking at how to actually draft it, and then how to revise it or make it more readable. So we'll be covering that this week. And then, like I said, next week we'll have a Zoom session. I'll be going over a lot of that with you. I'll be showing you what readability is, etc. So anyway, read the 2 chapters. Go ahead and complete the check-in assignment. That should really be up here. So let me move it up here. And then you have the 2 assignments that you've been working on for a few weeks now. They're both due this Sunday. So make sure you record your individual presentation. We did a whole thing on this. I did, by the way, link an older version of the video because I accidentally saved it at my work computer and I wasn't home all weekend, wasn't at the office all weekend. So I'll be updating that today to the one that we actually recorded for our class, but there's still one in there that you can review that goes over that assignment as well as the discussion post assignment in great detail. So you can click either one of these 2 assignments here and you will find that video and you can watch that. It'll be updated to our video sometime later today, but it's still available for you to view. And then you have your first exam as well. Keep in mind on your exam, there will be about 40 questions, multiple choice based off of the chapters that are listed, chapters 1 through 4 and 11 and 12. And then you're going to also be given, I think, 5 or 6 sentence rewrites, and these come right out of your book. So make sure you review the different types of sentences that you might run into, biased sentences that are too biased, or sentences that are not positive, or sentences that are passive, etc. So make sure you read the different kinds of sentences, and then as you prepare for the exam, that's probably the best thing to do, in addition to obviously reading your book and going back over the past quizzes. So that's pretty much it for this week. Like I said, next week we're going to be moving into business writings, and we do have a Zoom session on the 11th of March, which will be a week from this Wednesday. We'll be going over business writing in detail. So plan on joining me for that. But that is it for this week. If you have any questions or concerns or anything like that, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I do not have office hours here, but I'm happy to set up a time with you in Zoom, or we can handle it via email or text and get you going in the right direction if you need any help. If not, have a great week, and you will all see me on video again next week. And until then,